Here for Blood is definitely something I'm always here for when it comes to horror. So, a good start with the name, but did I really like this or not? We will find out. But let's start here with the IMDb plot as usual. When his girlfriend is swamped with college exams, a pro wrestler agrees to cover her well-paying babysitting job. Well-paying. What starts off as an easy night quickly spirals into bloody chaos when a murderous cult comes to abduct the child. All right. Go think about it. You just it's just your night to do the babysitting, and here comes the cult. Yeah. Better the wrestler than the babysitter, I guess. I mean, we've seen the babysitter have to go through this kind of thing before, so let's see what the wrestler can do. So yeah, this one I caught on Tubi, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it, I don't know, premiered, but at least came out on Screenbox. So it has been out for a little while, but I'll still, even though it's kind of been out for a little while, I'll try to be somewhat spoiler free. You know, maybe not guarantee 100%, or at least as usual. But I'll at least try to kind of save, some things here for you guys. But it has, it says 2022 here on IMDb, but I think, I don't know exactly, whatever. It's kind of newer to Tubi, but I believe it's been out in Screenbox and maybe some other places for a while. But yeah, anyway, obviously, this is, continuing my journey here through Tubi to find stuff to watch. Definitely when I landed on this, I did remember, seeing this on, that it went to Screenbox and one of the press releases we did for that. So I definitely was interested and kind of familiar. So it was good to see it here. So I definitely clicked on it to see, what it was all about. It kind of opens. We see a wrestling scene here, kind of introduced to the wrestler here, and that's kind of how it opened. Then we meet obviously his girlfriend, and she kind of, we get a little bit, kind of introduction to them as a couple, until she kind of breaks the news that, hey, I need to study. Can you do this babysitting job for me? And he doesn't really want to, but it's like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll take one for the girlfriend here and do this. They need the money. We just kind of see him not put on a decent wrestling match there and not really get paid for it, so definitely they need the money one way or the other, so why not? Goes to the house, meets the parents, meets the child. It's a young girl here. Seems only interested in playing her video games at first. Seems, like it's going to be an easy job. He doesn't really have to do too much. She's kind of old enough. She's not, causing a lot of chaos and so forth. And eventually, the parents, kind of fill them in on a few things, and then, off they go on their way. So kind of as this kind of plays out, you're kind of thinking, okay, so, what's going on here? Obviously, I didn't read the plot before, so I didn't know a cult's coming, or obviously somebody's going to come to the house to do some bad stuff, or something's going to happen. But, you kind of have that going on. He, it's a little bit awkward with the kid here. The kid, again, like I said, she's, good, young girl there. She just wants to play her video game and, not asking him to do too much. So he's just there, kind of minding his own business. Until a couple of guys kind of dressed all in black with masks on decide to break in the house. And this is the first kind of chaos we get in the movie. Of course, he's going to put on a good fight. He's a wrestler. So there's a good tussle going on here. Kind of injures one, kind of runs away. And then kind of locks another one in one of the bedrooms there, and kind of ties them up. So, you kind of think, okay, he has everything under control. He's taking care of the situation. One has kind of run away. He has another one locked up. I believe, maybe he misplaced his phone in this meantime. Doesn't really call the cops. Kind of goes and kind of questions the one that he has tied up. Doesn't really get anywhere. but goes and makes sure, the girl's okay and so forth. And before you know it, more people are coming into the house trying to break in and get the girl here. So there's a little bit of back and forth as a few people keep coming and going, fighting. He is going to take a couple of injuries and so forth. And then I think then the movie's going to kind of get a little bit darker. You're going to find out that the cult has something going on here, and there's a barn that's across on the outside of the house here. And there's a leader in there, and he's kind of sending in all these guys to go into this house and try to get this young girl. At one point, they kind of do like a spell or a conjuring, something kind of like that, which kind of gives some of these guys a little bit of extra strength, kind of maybe turns them a little bit into monsters or so forth. Not a great deal, but a little bit, at least to give them a little bit of advantage here. To kind of turn the tide against the wrestler a little bit. So it becomes a little bit harder for him to kind of fend them off, but he still kind of manages. Then there's this is obviously a horror comedy. So this one dude here that keeps coming in, he keeps just suffering an injury and running away, suffering a further injury and running away, throughout the movie going on. So he's a little bit of comic relief there in himself, as more and more guys keep going, and every time he tries, he suffers another injury or something bad just happens to him, and he's just all messed up by the end of this movie. So that's kind of the basics of it. Eventually, the girlfriend, along with a friend and her boyfriend, do end up coming to the house and do getting caught up in this chaos as well. So, the odds start kind of evening out. You have several of these guys in black coats, and some of them with strength or not, against the wrestler and his girlfriend and the two others. So you have a little bit of mix there. To go. So that's kind of the basics of it. Obviously, you're going to find out, whether they save the girl, they don't save the girl, who lives, who dies, what the cult is ultimately up to, and that kind of thing. I'll leave all that for you guys to see. Obviously, I can say that this definitely is a horror comedy. It definitely does not take itself seriously. And I think if you approach it and don't take it as a serious horror film, and you kind of let it be the comedy and just kind of let things go, I think you guys will enjoy it. It is here, with the title is Here for Blood, so you wait for it, you want the blood, and it's going to give you plenty of blood. It's definitely exaggerated. There's some scenes that the blood is just gushing. I saw this a little, I wanted to do this review sooner, but then I had a whole bunch of other reviews I had to do before this one. So I don't, remember, too many specifics other than, there's a lot of blood here. And sometimes when people suffer, either a stab or whatever, the blood is just pouring out. And then when you think it's going to stop, it pours out some more and some more. Which you guys know I'm all for it. Just let it go. Turn on the faucet. Let it sprinkle. The special effects aren't too bad. I'm pretty sure it wasn't any kind of CGI stuff. I'm pretty sure it seemed pretty practical to me. So it might not be perfect because sometimes when you just have a body just there and the blood just keeps going, obviously the more you keep it on that shot, the more fake it obviously is. But like I said, you can't take the movie too seriously. And if you are here for blood, then just enjoy it. If you're not here for blood and you don't really like that kind of stuff, you're probably not going to like that. So definitely was interesting in that. I remember one thing I do remember is there's a scene where he takes one guy down, he's on the floor, and he's just extra pissed at the guy. So he just gives him elbow drop after elbow drop after elbow drop, just over. You think he's done? No, he gets up and he goes. I mean, nothing you obviously see in the ring if you guys watch wrestling. You might see one or two. A guy jump off the top rope or whatever. Obviously, he's not jumping off the top rope, but he's landing the elbow, getting up, landing it again, and then basically. Again, more blood and guts everywhere because he continues to lay the elbow down on a guy. So that's the kind of craziness and fun stuff that I'm talking about here in this movie. It is not, one of those movies where it's simply, grab somebody, crank their neck, they're dead, and move on. No, usually when someone dies here, there's going to be a lot of pain. There's going to be a lot of blood. It's going to be a big fight. I think in most cases, it's going to look painful and so forth. So nothing is going to come easy here. It's not, let's get a gun and just shoot all these people. Everything's a fight and everything's a lot of blood and so forth. The movie is, a little long. I think, what if I saw it correctly? Yeah, an hour and 40 minutes. I guess not too bad. Maybe a few minutes long. I guess it did kind of feel like that a little bit. And like I said, when they give these cult people kind of have the power, whatever, it kind of almost seemed like it was just in kind of like that one moment and then it was no more. So that seemed a little odd that, that power didn't stay with all. And there was not too much explanation to what was really going on with that or not. Obviously, like I said, you will find out what the cult is doing and up to and so forth. And it does, kind of reach, otherworldly kind of stuff and stuff like that, which kind of, sets up for a very interesting ending. And I guess, like I said, you have a wrestler here. So they kind of upscale the fighting and the foes that he has to go against as the movie kind of starts. I should say the movie kind of goes along. There's another dude that's kind of big and you kind of, see him early on, but he doesn't fight the wrestler until a little bit later. So you obviously know that there's going to be a showdown there. Then, with the cult leaders eventually going to get involved. And there's another big dude who's going to have a big fight moment here. So, it kind of sets up those kind of things here. All with, some good fight scenes and action there. As well, the girlfriend's going to get involved. There's going to be some blood there. Her friends are going to get involved. There's going to be some blood there. I think there's some good funny moments, back and forth between him and the girlfriend while they're fighting. At first she doesn't really want to get too much into it. But then at a certain point, she gets all into it and has her moments of fun too. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe she gets all bloody at one point too. So there's definitely some fun there with that as well. And obviously the young child there, she's going to play a role. Starts off kind of calm and everything like that. But I think, she also has a good role in everything to come and is a kind of a good, fun cheerleader, maybe later on in the action. So she's going to have her moments there. There is a twist and a turn. I don't think it'll be totally shocking to you guys who are kind of watching this. You might guess it at some point, but there is a twist and turn here. But I think that just adds to it and adds to the chaos and adds to the fun. Even though it seemed, like it might happen and it did. I don't think that ruins anything. I don't think the movie had, the whole point of it, really wasn't to, kind of shock you with that. I guess, it was just a nice added thing to go along with the chaos here. Hopefully you guys could tell, I really enjoyed the movie. I'm really glad I watched it. I had a lot of fun watching it. Like I said, you can't take it serious. If you like blood and guts and that kind of thing, you're like, the wrestler kind of guy in a movie and so forth. All those things could mean that it's a movie for you. If you're not really on a lot of blood and guts and you want a more serious horror movie, then this movie probably isn't for you. But, anyway, I encourage you to watch it. Again, I saw it on Tubi. Really, really liked it. Really, I really would like to probably include this somewhere in my movies for the year, but since it's been out, I tried not to do that. I try to take one, hey, I should have seen it the year it came out, and then maybe I could have done that. But I really enjoyed this one. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with it. Definitely one of the better movies I've seen on Tubi here for a while. Again, there's a lot of good movies on Tubi, but I would say the really, really good ones, I've seen a lot of them before they got to Tubi. So that might be why, I'm not throwing it out there saying that they were Tubi reviews, because I might have already reviewed them when they previously came out. But definitely, one of the more recent ones I've seen on Tubi that I've really, really enjoyed up to this point. So with that, I'm going to give it 4 pools of blood. I had a lot of fun with the movie. Like I said, it's not a serious movie. At times maybe the acting isn't the best or whatever. But the blood and the guts and the whole, setup and everything and just everything they did, I had fun with. I enjoyed it. I was all here for the blood, and definitely it is going to get 4 pools of blood here for me. So, and that is out of 5. So with that, horrorosgorereviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews written in video. Definitely lots of video reviews for a while now, so you can like and subscribe and do everything that everybody wants you to do here on YouTube. But if not, no worries, it is truly okay. I thank you regardless. Please, also head over to the short section. Have fun there. I try to have a little bit of fun there with things, and a little bit of information mixed with fun there. Some of it courtesy of stuff I get through Promote Horror, and other stuff just fun. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. Feel free to join me there. Talk about horror, this movie, other movies, something you want me to review. And definitely in the comments section, your thoughts on the movie. Did you like it? Was it enough blood for you or not? If it wasn't, you're definitely with me and a sick individual who just wants, lots of blood and guts. Anyway, with that, I guess I'll catch you on the next review, horror fans.